What's up, folder fanatics? Good to have you all back here. So today we're going to be doing kind of a rebuild or kind of version update of a script that I had built in a prior video. I think it's maybe only like 2 or 3 videos past, which you can click here. But it was basically this expedited wrap folder consolidating script that I had built where it would search through my production folder and it would look for everything that was tagged in blue. And then what it would do is it would move all of those folders down to my final wrap folder, which is where, all of the final documentation, all of the final call sheets, maps. And the main purpose for this was to really minimize the drag and drop time that I would have to spend going from, one thing to the other. So it's like I'd have to do this with, every final thing that I would have to deal with. So no, didn't want to do that. Wanted to expedite that and make it as streamlined as possible. So the version 1 that I built was pretty efficient. And I'm going to show you guys what it kind of looks like right now. And then I want to point out some of the things that I've wanted to adjust. And we'll hop into Claude Code and see if we can't make that work. So we'll go into terminal here and type wrap consolidator. We'll press enter. We'll enter the full path of our directory. So in this case, it'll be this guy. And we're going to do Option Command C to get the, actually, no, we want this guy. Yeah, Option Command C to copy the path. We'll go in here, paste it, and we will press enter. And so now what it's going to do, it's combing through the folder looking for everything that is tagged in blue. And I think there's what did it say here? 14 blue tagged items, 23, 14 blue tagged items and 23 destinations. And so I'll walk you guys through this once this is finished, but just so you can see where a lot of the blue tagged folders are. I have petty cache, I have a couple folders, and then within those folders, I have a couple specific receipts tagged, and that's an important thing that I'll flag for you. Within production, simple, just call sheet and schedule, purchase orders. Let's see, did I tag anything in here? Good. I also tagged a couple things within the hot bricks folder as well. And then it looks like a schedule. All right, so going back into here, we can see that we have a full list of all of our files and folders that it found which had blue tags on it. So these are all pretty straightforward. The production maps parking map that it found is going to go into the wrap folder, into the production/maps section. The call sheet is going to go down into the call sheet. And then we're starting to get into the purchase orders. So it looks like, purchase order folder. All of these are going to go into the wrap folder, purchase order folder, which is great. And then now we're going to get down to here where I actually have the hot bricks invoices tagged in blue as well as the folders. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that it is actually flagging these invoices separately from the purchase orders. So if we take a look here, it looks like the invoice from Hot Bricks is going to end up in the purchase orders folder, but not stay within the Hot Bricks folder. So that's the thing that we don't want to happen. And the reason that I want to flag this is because sometimes if I have a job where, say, I have multiple invoices that need to be paid over the course of a job, I will usually mark a individual invoice blue so that I know, oh, hey, I already paid this in the past. When I send this stuff to accounting, I don't want them to pay this invoice again. I just want to make sure that, that I know it's already been paid for and I can let them know, hey, you've already paid this one invoice, which they likely already have a record of, but just for my sake, I like to be able to know what has already been paid. Because normally when I do these, it's usually one invoice and one receipt per folder, but occasionally there will be multiple invoices for a given vendor on a job. And so the main point is I want to make sure that all of these invoices that are tagged blue stay within their blue tagged folder. So I wanted to prioritize basically the top level of the directory. Whatever is blue tagged at the top level, we prioritize that and move everything within it. I hope that all made sense. I feel like I rambled a lot about that right there. So going back into this, we've got, the Hot Bricks quote, same thing. It's going to go just to the purchase orders folder. So we'll figure out how we address that. This one's straightforward. The petty cache purchase order itself is going to purchase orders. The schedule goes to schedules. And now we're getting into the petty cache. So we've got James Wilson's folder, which we saw, which goes into the petty cache folder. Right here, James Wilson. But then James Wilson has these receipts in here. And for some reason, it is actually looking at them and it's like, okay, cool. We want to put it in the wrap folder miscellaneous in the NDA subfolder for who knows what reason. So this isn't something that I necessarily want to happen. What I would like to do in instances like this is instead of it offering a navigation to go to the miscellaneous folder, what I would actually like it to do is once all of this is done, I would like it to prompt me to then ask, where do I want to put everything that's set to go into the miscellaneous folder? That way, instead of just dropping it into the miscellaneous folder right here, it will instead prompt me with, these 8 choices and possibly even the subfolder choices as to where I want it to go. So if I want it to go into production, I would say 3, it goes to production, and then it says, oh, do you want to go into any of these subfolders or just keep it in the root folder? So I think those are the main 2 that I would like to introduce into this. And then the last thing that I want to do, because I'd had this happen on the last video where I had to manually reallocate everything back every time I ran it, I would actually like some kind of undo feature built into this where if I want to undo all of the movements and, the changes that have been made, it can do that all very quickly. And I don't need to sort through it and manually figure out how I did it, because when I'm running this command, I can't just press Command Z. It won't automatically undo all of that movement in one fell swoop. So I need to have some kind of oh shit switch that I can flip if I've, moved a bunch of things that I didn't mean to move. Okay, so we're going to press N for this. We're going to abort that, and let's hop into Claude Code and see what we can do. So already in my scripts workflows folder, let's put @wrap consolidator, and then let's give it some direction. Please read this script that I have designed for consolidating my wrap folders based on blue tagged items in the Mac Finder, period. I have a few updates that I would like to make, period. Please make a copy of this wrap consolidator script and give it a new version header for v2, period. The changes that I would like to make are the following, period. For the first one, I would like the script to prioritize the blue tagged items at the top level of a given portion of the directory, period. So for example, if there is a folder that has a blue tag and then within that folder there is a file that is tagged blue, I don't want the blue tagged file to be separated out from the folder, period. I would like that full folder to be moved and it has priority so that anything within it is not moved out of it, period. The other thing that I would like done is for anything that is classified as miscellaneous, I would like for the script to actually prompt me for a location that I can put those items that are assigned to the miscellaneous folder, period. So the script will actually offer me all of the wrap folders, subfolders as an option for me to put any files that would normally be assigned to miscellaneous, period. And then some of those wrap folders have subfolders. So if those folders happen to have subfolders and I select one, it will prompt me with those subfolder options as well. Or I can skip that and it will just put it at the root folder that I've selected. And finally, the last thing that I would like to build is a undo feature where if I have initiated this script and all of the files and folders have been moved, I would like for there to be some method for me to be able to undo all of that in case I have made a mistake. I'm not exactly sure how I would structure that, but I'm open to your ideas, comma. Please let me know if there is any other input I can provide, period. Ask me any clarifying questions needed, period. All right, let's see what happens here. Ever since I discovered that this is really what Claude Code is used for, it's blown my mind. Like, just so many little practical solutions that I've had in my head, but that I would never have been able to build on my own is incredible. So here we go. It's starting to throw a few things at us. Let's see here. How do you want to trigger undo? Rerun the same script with an undo flag, a separate companion script, a prompt at the very end of each run. Let's see. I don't know if I would do... Well, actually, a rerun with the same script might actually be the best thing. Because I feel like I had brainstormed this before, and it was like, oh yeah, you can have like a text file that shows everything that moved and it can read it. And I'm like, that seems excessive. I feel like there's got to be a simpler way. So yeah, the other thing I was thinking too was like a prompt at the very end of each run where it still has the context of what's just been done. And so before I exit out of there, I just go and check out the folder and see if anything's wrong. And then if something is wrong, then I can just undo it there. So we'll see about that. Where should the move log be stored? Either in the wrap folder. Oh, so this is what I just said. So it is some kind of move log. So it would be... I'd probably put it in the wrap folder initially. And then should the script warn you if a previous undo log already exists for the root directory? Probably. A miscellaneous interactive prompt. When multiple files would normally go to miscellaneous, do you want to be prompted once per file or once total? Pick one destination and all go together. I will definitely want them to be once per file. Top level priority. The logic I'm planning. Scan all blue tagged items, then remove from the move list any item whose parent folder or any ancestor within the scanned root is also blue tagged. So the folder moves and takes its context with it. Does it match your intent? Yes. Okay, cool. So this all seems like it makes sense. I'm confused on the difference between the undo trigger options of rerunning the same script versus a prompt at the very end, period. I feel like a prompt at the very end is probably the best move as the verification after things have been moved. Then I would just go scan the folder to see if anything is wrong and undo it if something is drastic. I'd say the move log should probably be stored at the top level of the wrap folder. That way, it's just an easy pathway to get to, and it's not hidden somewhere deep within my computer. The script should probably warn me if an undo log already exists for that root directory, but I guess I don't understand how the undo log would play into things in terms of its legacy, period. Like, are there going to be conflicting logs, question mark? Is the prompt or the script always going to scan the folder for an undo log, question mark? For the miscellaneous interactive prompt, I would like it to be once per file, because the files may not all need to go to the same place, they may need to go to separate places. So for each file, I would like it to loop and give me the option for where to place each one, period. Your top level priority understanding seems correct, period. Whatever the top level blue tagged container is, any of its children, I guess would be the term, should be disregarded in terms of separately moving those files, they should always stay with the parent or ancestor folder as you have described, period. Thinking. Man, this guy's thinking for a while. All right, got some good stuff here. Each run creates a new file log. At the end of the run, prompt undo. If yes, replay and reverse. The log file persists after the run in case they want to undo later. On the next run, if any undo log file exists in the wrap folder, warn the user and offer to list or select one before proceeding, or just let it accumulate. Okay, cool, great. There's no conflict. Wrap consolidator underscore v2, perfect. And then I think you can see in here, make the script executable. Allow once. This should be fine. I'm wondering if this is going to be an issue here, because I feel like every time it talks about it being executable, it ends up being an issue. Let's see here. Top level priority after scanning any blue tagged items whose parent folder is also blue tagged is dropped from the move list. The script reports how many items were skipped for this reasoning, so you know it's working. Interactive miscellaneous placement, undo system. All right, cool. So let's go take a look at this and see what we're going to do. So we have wrap consolidator. My guess is it's underscore v2. Yes, it is. Blue tag consolidator v2. Enter the full path for the directory. Let's see what happens. So let's get the pathway here. We will slap it in there, press enter. Same thing, 25 subfolders, found 4 blue tagged items and 4 items skipped contained inside a blue tagged folder, which works very well. Unterminated quotes. So it's doing the process that it had done before, but it actually isn't listing the path and everything that we saw up here. So something, oh, never mind. There it is. Forget that. I'm not a computer programmer. This is nonsense. So what do we have here? This is great. Let's see. Production maps, call sheet, purchase orders, payroll, purchase orders. Yep, all these are accurate. So we don't have the option here of putting it in a miscellaneous folder or redirecting it. So we'll probably need to do another pass after this. But for right now, let's actually just have it initiated, and then we'll try out the undo script. So let's see if everything is moved. So, all right, there's our wrap consolidated log, which says everything. Nothing in miscellaneous. We have, petty cash. We got Casey and James. We got all the purchase orders that moved in here. Looks like all the sub tagged items are also good. And then we've got call sheet, map, and schedule. Okay, perfect. All of those are in the right place. Undo log has been saved. Rerun this script to undo a previous run at any time. So undo all moves right now. We will press yes. All right, restored, Casey Morgan, everything that we had in here. That's great. Okay, perfect. So we're in a very good position right now. I'm happy about this. So let's try and tag something that just doesn't really have any place to go at this moment. Let's just see if it'll do these NDA sign forms. Is there an NDA in here? Let's take a look. This I don't need. So it does have NDAs in there. So yeah, let's see. Is there something? Camera logs. This is like the perfect miscellaneous thing. So let's just see if it'll move the camera log folder. We'll leave the NDAs in there just to see what happens. And so let's run this again. Wrap consolidator _ v2. We'll do that. Looks like we have the same folder path as before. Found 22 destination folders inside wrap. 22. Oh, yeah, because I deleted the old miscellaneous folder. 16 blue tagged items, 4 skipped items. It's doing its thing here. Oh, curious. All right, so everything is the same, but now, so the legal NDAs went to the NDAs, but then the camera logs over here are also being navigated to the NDAs, but it isn't prompting me for any miscellaneous folder changes or where I can manually navigate it to. Maybe I have to press yes and then it will prompt me. Which no, it has not done that. Because looking down here, yep, camera logs and NDA signed. Okay, so it's not quite what we wanted it to do, but what we can do here is we will undo all the moves. We'll press yes. Everything has been changed. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this. We're going to copy it. And we're going to put the whole thing into Claude and just give it a little explanation. All right, great first pass, comma. It looks like there is some kind of bug going on with the miscellaneous feature, period. It never prompted me to move 2 of these folders to different places that were assigned to go to the miscellaneous folder, comma. Would you be able to let me know what's wrong with it, question mark? All right, so the miscellaneous prompt folder never fired. The 2 were routed to this, but they weren't flagged as needing manual placement. They went straight to miscellaneous NDAs, which means best destination scored them against the miscellaneous subfolder NDAs and returned that, not miscellaneous direct. The issue is that NDAs is a subfolder of miscellaneous, but it doesn't match the exclusion pattern, miscellaneous, which I don't know what that is. So it gets included in the scoring pool. When NDA appears in the path, it matches against NDA's subfolders and routes there automatically instead of prompting for manual placement. The better approach is to exclude all subfolders of miscellaneous direct from the scoring pool entirely, so items that only match miscellaneous subfolders fall through to the manual prompt instead. Okay, cool. So we'll see if this is a little bit better. I may need to get a little bit more specific because my prior instructions that I had given it might not have been clear, because I feel like in the original version I did of this, it actually created a miscellaneous folder versus referring to miscellaneous folder number 8 as a thing that needs to be as a thing that serves as a catch-all. And the fact that it also has all of these kind of subfolders that are in here may be throwing it off as well. So it's made some adjustments. NDA sign matched NDA folders to bypass the manual prompt entirely. Now anything landing anywhere inside the miscellaneous folder tree triggers the prompt. That's great. Okay. NDAs has a single quote that breaks Zarg's tokenizer replaced with a sed trim that handles any characters safely. So I don't even know what that apostrophe crash was. That honestly might have been this portion right here. All right, cool. So it has been updated. Oh my God, literally 3 lines. Okay, that's great. So let's try this one more time, see what happens. Is this the same path that I had before? Nope, it is not what I had before. Just broke that. Let's try that again. Wrap consolidator 2. No, clear. Okay, let's try this one more time. We're going to go into here. We'll go to the top folder. We'll copy the path, slap it in here, scanning everything, doing its thing. Now it's not showing anything. Yep. Okay, cool. So that's slightly misleading, but I'm not worried about it right now. Gives everything. Oh, awesome. There's a little flag here. 2 items need manual placement. You'll be prompted after confirming. All right, so we're in a better place. Maps, call sheets, manual placement, great. Manual placement for camera logs. All right, so good position. Let's press yes. Let's see, select folder, manual placement. Okay, so it actually is not prompting me for the correct place, and it isn't telling me which one, I suppose. So we've got. Let's just for the sake of it, let's just throw it in folder number 7, and then subfolder. Okay, so I'll probably want it to actually map everything to me. So let's do, what do we have here? Let's just do subfolder number 1. Okay, so it's not giving me any context. So let's just try 7 and 2. It does the whole thing. Manual placement needed. Locations insurance. Okay. Alrighty, let's see where this goes from here. Is that in the right place? No? Those are in the right place. Replicate camera logs, moved. Whoa, what is happening here? Locations insurance, locations releases, camera logs, moved to petty cash James Wilson and petty cash Casey Morgan. Where the hell are these things? Camera logs. Schedule. Okay, the schedule has moved. What is going on here? All right, so these have all disappeared. These have all completely disappeared. Locations and insurance has subfolders. Huh. All right, so we're going to undo this and we're going to throw it in here because I have no idea what actually happened. Yeah, we're going to undo all that and see what happens. Oh, could not restore. Okay, so a lot of things went wrong here. So let's see if that stuff is actually back there because camera logs wasn't in there. The NDAs aren't in there. Okay, all those moved back out. All those moved out. All right, so we're going to throw this back in there and see what happens. All right, it initially prompted fine by being able to recognize which files needed to be manually assigned, but then there were several issues, period. The first issue was it said 2 files needed to be manually assigned, but then it wouldn't tell me which file specifically I was moving, and then it actually didn't give me any specific directory paths, it just gave me a list of 1-7 as options to go to for each file, period. So I want to be able to actually have a directory tree within the wrap folder that it will prompt me with, along with the numbers of the folders. Then when I did assign them to go to their particular folders, they appeared to have listed as going to the right place, but when I went to look at them in the wrap folder, they did not appear there, period. These are specifically the NDA folder, and then the camera logs folder, period. Here is the full terminal script. And then there were also some issues where it says it couldn't restore a number of things as well, period. Man, this is such an in-depth thing that even I don't understand right now. Redirect all interactive output to pick destination. Great, thank you. Is there any way for me to restore the folders that appear to have been lost, ? Where did those folders actually end up going? Because they aren't in their original locations, and I don't see them in the wrap folder, period. camera logs one is fine because it was just an empty folder, comma, but my NDA folder actually had files in it. I suppose that's my fault for running a test on a folder that was full of files. While that's processing at the very least, let's go throw a new camera logs folder in here. Camera logs. Tag that. All right, cool. We'll see if it searches for it. We'll see if it's able to track it down. I mean, it's not the end of the world, because those were just all sample files, but nonetheless, I was like, it would suck to have to do that again. Created a directory with a strange name. This is last readable component, and move actually succeeded in placing the folder there. Job-specific COIs, NDA signed. If this is in here for God knows what reason, because I'm not seeing it in job-specific COIs. So, I think I'm being lied to. Wrap 07, locations and insurance, job-specific COIs. Yeah, it's not in there, but let's see what happens. This is wild. I've never had anything like this happen. All right, we're just going to not worry about it right now. I will sort that out later. So yeah, good thing that wasn't important. So let's try it one more time because we can at least try it with the camera logs aspect. Wrap consolidator v2, full directory path. Let's do this guy. Same as before, slap it in there, searching for it, finds the items, scans, does its thing. All right, perfect. We've got a single manual placement thing, so let's move, press yes. Oh, that can't be good. I'm going to probably crash my computer doing that, so we're going to arrest that. Debug the read error in line, maybe around line 244 question mark. There was a descriptor issue based on what my terminal is telling me, comma, because it would give me the option to assign it, but then it would repeat all of the folder things over and over and over and over and over again. We're just gonna do this. Throw that in there. Man, it's always one thing. It's always one little thing that just ends up being a little issue. A lot of this video is just me sitting here waiting around. And this is what building a lot of these things is as well. That should fix the infinite loop. What's happening because inside there's no stdin. Now pick destination is just sets pick to dest directly, and the call site reads from that variable, so read has a live terminal to work with the whole time. Cool. All right. Let's try again. Let's clear this guy. Wrap consolidator v2. All right, that's good. Nope, not that. Not that. Did the same thing again. Let's see. Wrap consolidator v2. Let's go get the path. We're going to do this right here. Slap it in. Scanning for logged items. One item needs manual placement. All these, yep, still look accurate. We will say yes. Manual placement post camera logs. So just for the sake of it, let's go to production just to see. Production has subfolders, place here, and just for the sake of it, let's throw it in production reports just to see if it can go all the way to the beginning. Let's go see if everything is moved correctly. We'll go to the wrap folder as usual. Yep, there's the call sheet, there's the map, there's the camera logs in the production report section, schedules, great. All of that is lovely. And I actually may prompt it to have miscellaneous also be an available thing because there are reasons that it would go into miscellaneous, but I'll worry about that later. As of right now, it is doing what I want it to do. So good. All that's in there. All these are here as usual. And then we've done it. All right, verify the file structure. Yeah, which we have done. Everything in here, it looks like it has been moved correctly. All right, yeah, and this is working better than it was when we started. It took a little while to get here, but thank you guys for sticking with it if you're still here. But yeah, again, just another case of like, as I kind of develop more and more of these scripts, I kind of run into cases where I'm like, oh, I would like it to be able to do this, or I would like it to be able to do that. And this was just one of the cases where I'm like, oh, this seems like a really simple thing to adjust. But I mean, as you can see, I mean, my recording here is probably like 45 minutes of doing this. So I have no idea what this cuts down to. But yeah, this is just one of those things where I was like, oh, I have more ideas. I have more ideas that I want to be able to do to make this thing more robust. And yeah, I am quite happy about it. So there'll be something down here in the comments. I haven't decided if it's worth it for me to share this whole thing because, again, like a lot of it is tied specifically to my machine. But if not, I will put a AI sort of prompt in here where you can just slap the prompt into AI and be like, hey, help me build this tool, help me build this thing that will operate in a terminal. And yeah, we'll go from there. If you have any comments, critiques, things about this that seem off or things that you think might be useful for this, throw them in there. Like I'm at a point too where I'm just like, I'm working with all my ideas, but I'm like, I want to hear what other people have to say and what other people like to use and what they think might be useful. It would be a nice challenge to be able to build something for folks based on, you know, their workflow and how they work. But anyway, that'll be it for me. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this one. We will see you on the next one.